Subramaniam Shankaran. On the next video in the series towards AI governance, okay, we're going to have a look at the seven principles of trustworthy AI, okay, according to the European Union AI Act. Okay, though there are a lot of, if you look at the GDPR data protection, okay, though there are a lot of laws of data protection. Okay, the GDPR is something which became so popular. In fact, if you look at the PDPA and PDPC of Malaysia, okay, it was enacted in 2010. Okay, but when the GDPR was introduced in 2018, same year, even the CCPA. Okay, in fact, CCPA was introduced in February. I think GDPR somewhere in the May 2018. Okay, and GDPR swept the world. Okay, on the data protection. After the Brexit, okay, it became an UK GDPR. Then it was an EU GDPR. Okay, then we have DPDP India and PDPL Saudi Arabia. Okay, all these laws, okay, are now on the data protection. If you look at the artificial intelligence, okay, European Union AI Act, okay, is something which is very strong, okay, and one of the first laws that were enacted in the world, okay, and the UK is coming up with, I think by summer 2026 is what they have targeted for release of their first act on AI, okay. Now, having said about this European Union AI Act, there are seven principles, okay, for the trustworthy AI, okay, and it's based on the robustness and based on the lawfulness, ethics, etc. But first thing is the human agency and oversight. Okay, this is something that we discussed on the previous video as well. When it is the human agency and the oversight, the human in loop, human on the loop, and human in command. Okay, on the supervisory position. There are three ways in which you can ensure that the human beings are always in line, okay, with the artificial intelligence management system. It cannot be, even if it's going to be an automated, okay, so there should be a control, okay, on what's being delivered, okay. So the human in command and human in loop and human on the loop, okay, what is, there's a subtle difference between all these three, which we'll discuss in the further videos. Next is technical robustness and safety. Now, there's something called the adversarial attacks. Okay, adversarial attacks is like, the AI system is being attacked by enemies. Okay, they're called the adversary. Okay, NIST has got a special publication, okay, 100 and something, okay, which is called adversarial machine language. Okay, they have got predictive AI and Gen AI. Okay, there are a lot of attacks that are listed in that particular document, which could be very useful for your AI security, which we are covering as a part of our certified AI security officer training as well. Okay, so it's like, even if there is going to be adversarial attack, okay, there should be a resilience on your AIMS. That's what is actually called as a technical robustness and safety. Privacy and data governance, obviously, data protection, okay, is one of the regulatory compliances in the world. Okay, there are a lot of penalties. If you're going to Google or if you're going to use a chat GPT or perplexity, okay, to see what all the top 20, top 30 GDPR penalties. Okay, it's a huge list. Okay, predominantly Irish supervisory authority is what we had actually seen. And there are a few companies which are very popular. They fall across they fall into the penalty, okay, list. Now, what I mean to say is, okay, the if you're going to choose a data set that's going to have the personal data, before you start feeding the model with the data set, okay, for your AIMS, okay, we need to ensure that, okay, your data protection principles are upheld. Okay, the anonymization, pseudonymization, okay, tokenization, there are a lot of privacy enhancing technology that needs to be followed, okay, whenever you're going to go for, the AIMS, okay, it's one of the principles of trustworthy AI. Next is transparency, from where you are collecting the model, from where you are, the buying the model, from where you have the data set, okay, every single step is a part of your, the AIMS, okay, right from the problem definition, okay, and then data collection preparation, model collection of the training, model evaluation, okay, deployment and monitoring, maintenance, etc. At every stage, okay, there should be a transparency and what's going to happen. Okay, diversity and non-discrimination fairness. So you cannot have an bias towards an race or towards an ethnicity or towards a religion or towards a gender. Okay, that's actually called as a non-discrimination. So always ensure that your output of the IMS is unbiased. What you feed as a data is what you actually get. Okay, so that could be a bias, okay, when you are developing a model, or there could be a bias when you're feeding the data. You'll always ensure that Okay, the model is chosen. Okay, it processes unbiased. Okay, so only the data set that you're actually feeding. Okay, it's just the data set. Okay, there should not be any bias. Okay, you cannot populate more people of a particular religion or a particular race or particular ethnicity. Okay, and feed it to the model to force or bias your output. Okay, societal and environmental well-being. Okay, now we all know that the large language models, which is part of the deep learning, is going to work on terabytes and terabytes of data. Okay, so it obviously require a lot of power consumption. Okay, and we'll always ensure that we go for an um, recyclable or sustainable power supply for your data center. Okay, more and more power consumption, more and more the heat dissipation is actually happening. Okay, sustainable power supply is what we see, right? Or sustainable energy sources. Okay, or recyclable energy sources. There's a specific term that we actually use for it. Okay, just to ensure that we don't waste the electricity. Okay, and we don't waste the dissipate the heat. Okay, to harm the environment. There should be a step taken towards ensuring that the environment is not affected because we are doing an artificial intelligence. We are implementing an AIMS. Accountability. We saw about seven stage of the AIMS development, right? Or AIMS, right? First is problem definition, data collection and cleaning, model collection, choosing the model and training the model. Okay, and then the model evaluation. Okay, just to ensure the output metrics are all fine enough. Okay, to match the problem definition. Then you deploy it and then you maintain it. Okay, it's like an SDLC. These are stages. Okay, in every single step, okay, we need to have a RACI who is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Okay, so whenever we have a problem, okay, with any of the stages, okay, we are doing a root cause analysis, and we find okay the problem could be any of the stages. We need to find out who is accountable, okay, for that particular stage, okay, or for that particular problem. Okay, so the accountability or traceability is also a very important topic in case of an AIMS. So these are seven principles, and they are based on robustness, ethical AI, okay, and the lawfulness. Okay, we'll also discuss about the foundations. So and I think the UK AI Act is going to be based on almost the same, but there are a few more clauses. Okay, or they are removing one or two principles and adding one more. We'll also discuss about the UK AI Act, which is still in the draft. Okay, and also the other acts that OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation Development, their principles, etc., the further videos. So join us for the artificial intelligence governance, security, and ISO 42001 training. Okay, so you can mail me on subramanyam.sankaran@gmail.com or subramanyam@ieee.org.uk. Okay, so we'll be more than happy to connect with you. Stay subscribed to this channel for the more videos on data protection, cyber security, and artificial intelligence. Cheers. Bye bye.